I used to wonder how pro and advanced players were so consistent and played the right shot every time, no matter what position they were in. I was very intrigued by this, so I watched some training footage from behind with the intent of figuring out what was going on here, how were they able to, be so good. And then I realised it was about the way that they moved. I used to think at that time that footwork was just about, reaching the wide ball. Because, anyway, most of the balls are going to come here. You're not going to need to use footwork much, which was obviously completely wrong. And then that day I realised that the detailed and intricate movements that the good players were doing in between their shots had very good reason. The reason their entire game was so high quality is because their footwork facilitated it. In between shots, they moved every time, even if it was just an inch to get into the perfect position. Don't underestimate how much easier it is to play a shot if you're in perfect position. If you're standing a few inches too far to the right or a few inches too far to the left when you're trying to play your forehand, for example, it can make a huge difference in your consistency and quality. So the question was for me when I found out why they were making these tiny movements is how I can make these tiny movements to better my game. I tried doing it at first, but then I realised that my feet were in the habit of staying glued to the ground unless I really needed to move. So I researched a little bit, watched some videos, and I shifted my weight to the balls of my feet, and that really helped. I was moving way more fluidly, but after a while, I say a while, but after a few minutes I was feeling tired because my legs were just not strong enough for what was required. So that's how I got into quick feet, which is essentially skipping without a rope, and that improved my table tennis related fitness a lot. But yeah, so essentially what I was telling myself is that whenever a ball comes, even if it looks like it's in the exact same position, I'm going to move anyway. Even if it's a millimeter to the right or a millimeter to the left. And when I started doing this, I was moving to the wrong place prematurely because I had to move. But what I did was, it still got me in the habit of moving, which is what I needed at the time. So yeah, for the first few weeks and months of trying this, I was moving every time, even if it was to the wrong place. But then after a while, I started to understand the game more, and my reading and prediction of the game of my opponent became better, and I was, moving to the right place more often. I was becoming more consistent. It was getting better just because I learned this one thing. Once you know how to move properly, then you are just going to start to move into the right place. I don't know if it's something you can put into words, but that's just how your brain works. For me, the more I progressed my game, the more I moved prematurely. And I wasn't moving to the wrong position most of the time. I was moving correctly, but I was just reading the game better. And so the best thing about this is that now, my feet, my body, they do this autonomously. I don't even have to think. I haven't thought about it for a long time. My subconscious sees the ball coming this way. I'm not actually thinking about it. My feet are just moving this way. Something going around back here, but I'm not really thinking about it at all. I haven't had to think about it for a long time. My eyes send a signal to my brain and I move automatically, and I don't think about doing that at all. But yeah, that is what consistent practice is going to bring with anything, muscle memory. And honestly, if I didn't have the level of footwork to match my technical ability in my actual shots, then I'd only be a half or maybe even a third of the player that I am right now. It helped me a lot in micro adjustments, so I thought I'd do this little piece. And I always wonder, is it better to use reverse psychology, and will I get more subscribers that way, or should I say like and subscribe? Well, I don't know.